There is a name that refuses to be buried. Names that survive not because they are worshipped, but because they warn us. Moloch is one of those names. A god condemned in ancient scripture, a monster cast in bronze and fire. A symbol of sacrifice so extreme it still chills the modern imagination. But Moloch is more than an ancient idol. Moloch is an idea, a system, a force that demands the most precious thing a society has, its future. Tonight, we're not just talking about a god. We're talking about what happens when power feeds on life itself. Moloch, also spelled Molech, M-O-L-E-C-H, as well as Milcom, M-I-L-C-O-M, and even Moloch, M-A-L-I-K, appears in ancient Canaanite and Phoenician religions, especially in regions that are now modern-day Israel, Lebanon, and Carthage. The name likely comes from the Semitic root spelled M-L-K, meaning king. Hebrew texts altered the pronunciation, possibly combining it with the word bosheth, meaning shame. So, from the beginning, Moloch is framed not as a noble king, but as a king of shame. The Hebrew Bible repeatedly condemns Moloch worship. Do not give any of your children to be sacrificed to Moloch. Leviticus 18:21. This wasn't symbolic condemnation, it was explicit. Moloch worship represented a line that could not be crossed because it violated the deepest moral law, the protection of children. Ancient sources described Moloch as a hollow metal idol, often made of bronze. The statue was heated from below. Its arms were outstretched, and children were placed on those arms and rolled into fire. Some accounts say drums were beaten loudly so parents could not hear the screams. But was this real? Well, scholars still debate. Some argue these descriptions were propaganda, exaggerations by rival cultures. Others point to archaeological evidence, especially in Carthage, where urns containing the remains of infants and animals were found in ritual burial ground that were called Tophet. Even if the scale is debated, ritualized child unaliving, we shall say, did occur. And that matters because Moloch becomes the ultimate symbol of a society willing to destroy its own future to secure power, prosperity, or divine favor. Moloch is often described as a bull-headed humanoid, a towering idol of metal, a furnace disguised as a god. The bull matters. In ancient cultures, bulls symbolized strength, dominance, fertility, and authority. But Moloch twists that symbolism, turning fertility into consumption. Across cultures, we see similar figures. Kronos devouring his children, Saturn consuming life to maintain power, dragons demanding tribute, and gods that require blood to keep order. And though not historically linked to Moloch worship, certain animals are often symbolically associated with the Moloch, the archetype anyways, due to their form, behavior, or naming. For instance, the thorny devil lizard, Moloch horridus. Yes, the reptile's scientific name is literally Moloch. This Australian lizard is covered in sharp spikes and appears monstrous, defensive, and ancient. Symbolically, it represents a creature that survives through intimidation, a body designed to ward off threats, and a being that feeds in slow, ritualistic ways. Though harmless, its appearance reflects how humans project fear onto the unknown, much like the monstrous form given to Moloch himself. In modern symbolic interpretations, the gibbon appears in discussions of Moloch imagery due to its human-like arms and expressions, its eerie vocalizations, and its ability to resemble distorted humanity. In art and satire, gibbons sometimes represent human systems behaving in animalistic ways, echoing the idea that Moloch is not a beast, but human nature unchecked. And in modern times, Moloch no longer needs temples. He lives in systems. Moloch becomes war machines that sacrifice youth, economies that burn out generations, corporations that consume health for profit, ideologies that demand absolute loyalty, and technologies that erode humanity for efficiency. The poet Allen Ginsberg famously invoked Moloch as the symbol of industrial civilization. Quote, Moloch, whose mind is pure machinery, unquote. Moloch is what happens when systems matter more than souls, when efficiency outweighs empathy, when growth replaces wisdom, when sacrifice becomes policy. Moloch is terrifying because he doesn't arrive as evil. He arrives as necessity. Sacrifice now so that we can strive later. Some must suffer so others can prosper. This is the cost of progress, and the danger isn't believing in Moloch, it is becoming him. Moloch represents the moment a society forgets the sacredness of life. He is the warning carved into history. When children become expendable, the future is already lost. And the ancient Israelites didn't just reject a god, they rejected an idea that power is more than compassion. And that message still matters because Moloch never truly disappeared. He only changed his shape. So yeah, that's it for today's video. As always, I hope you found it entertaining, enlightening, or in some way beneficial. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and share the video with a friend or two. Alright everyone, take care. Peace.